Mr. DJ Rose, Verteezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
Yo, Mr. DJ Rose, Caesar Seeds, Verteezy, man, we out of traffic, man. We at the next light. Shout out to Unk blessing us with our new theme music. You know what I'm saying? How y'all boys been living this week?
Stay out the snow, man.
Talk up Caesar Seeds, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a great week, man. You know, got to kick it with my people this week. Got to go to the studio with my boy Unk that I've known since I was in middle school, and got to watch him do what he do best, which is make some hot tracks, man. So I hope y'all like our new intro song.
Yeah, man, it all happened in the week. It's been a crazy week, but it all happened in the week.
So this week in sports, in a basketball league overseas, they was doing a little halftime thing. You know how they'll get a fan and say, hey, make this half court shot or do a backflip or something, and we'll give you some money. So this one person had to hit a golf ball in a hole from half court. So he hit the ball, and as the ball was getting closer, one of the players realized the ball wasn't going to go in the hole. So he basically tried to be a good sport. He kind of goes on the court, grabbed the ball, and he tried to put the ball in the hole multiple times. And that's when someone conductor said, "Nah, you got to stop." And he started walking to the bench, and he started saying, "Yo, the hole's too small for the ball." And people started talking about, man, they be doing these scams at these halftimes for these games. C's, what's your thoughts?
It's screwed up for the companies to do. They've been doing this for a while. If you remember that big one back in the 90s, I want to say it was a Bulls game where they said, hey, if you make it from half court, dude played like a guard or something in college. Then they tried to go back and say, oh, this was for somebody who's never played the game. They basically tried to screw him over the whole crowd, and like news people had to get on the company for them to pay it. I want to say the team or a couple players ended up putting the money up for him to get paid, and it was only like $100,000. I mean, if you're gonna do these promos, because you're making millions of dollars on the back end anyway. You see your name posted up around the stadium anyway. So, I mean, it's screwed up to see, it's a tale as old as time. Companies try to figure out a way to get over. It's nothing but a tax cut anyway, so it's like, why be cheap?
Yeah, it's sad, man, because, we see plenty of times, like, for every half-court shot you see made by a fan, there's at least another 150 that was missed. So it's like, hey, man, just pay these people their money, man, because I can't imagine going to a game. I paid my ticket to the game. I'm lucky enough to be part of the halftime show, and I make a shot or I do something, and I don't care. For me, it ain't got to be $100,000. It could just be $50, or it could be just free tickets to the next game, and I'll be excited. So, like, whatever you promise these people, man, hey, man, give these people a legit chance to win, or just don't do it. Just say we're not going to do it, because ain't nobody making you do it.
Yeah, man. Y'all ain't get paid? Y'all ain't get paid? Well, pay them because y'all got paid.
So going from overseas basketball to the biggest basketball league in the world, the NBA. So the NBA All-Star starters was listed. So started off in the East, Jalen Brunson from the New York Knicks, Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavs, Karl-Anthony Towns, New York Knicks, Jason Tatum, Celtics, and Giannis, Bucks. Now in the West, we got Steph Curry, Warriors. We got that boy Shea, the Thunder. KD, Phoenix. LeBron James, the Lakers. And probably the best player in the world, Jokic from the Nuggets. Man, I really can't get mad at too many of these names, but there are two players that I feel like got snubbed for the All-Star game. And the first player is, I maybe this is just hometown bias, but what he's done with the team, Trae Young, like they've beaten the Bucks, they've beaten the Celtics multiple times. Can no one else say that? He's putting up some numbers this season. Like he's having one of his better seasons, and Trae's already had seasons where he's averaged 30 points and double-digit assists. If I had to take someone off, I got to choose between the guards, and I probably would go Donovan Mitchell. I probably would take him off, even though he's having a good year in the Cavs. I think are number 1 or number 2 in the East. It probably would be Mitchell because I think that team is just more talented, and I don't think they're just winning just because of him because it's a loaded team. Then I go to the West, and I was shocked that I didn't see this name. I was shocked that Vic didn't make it. Like, Vic has averaged basically 25 points this year. He's averaging a double digit.
Be more clear when you say they didn't make it because it's just the starters. Be more.
Okay, then, yeah. Now, he didn't get named as a starter, but
I'm pretty sure both of those I think should make it. But as a starter, I think Vic definitely should have made it as a starter.
Well, to me, you making it. I'll be honest. I don't look at the All-Star game like the Pro Bowl. Like you making it the bench. That's to me, you didn't make it. That's how I look at it. Like because like anybody, we get bench niggas all the time. Like this is voted on by the fans, and then the bench niggas is the coaches or whatever. So niggas who are good are gonna make it because of coaches. But the fact that fans didn't vote him as a starter, I'm just shocked because this is his second year of playing awesome. He's averaging 25 points. He's averaging double-digit rebounds. He's probably going to win Defense Player of the Year. Like, what he's doing for the Spurs, and if I had to take someone out, it would be KD. I would take KD out for him because Vic has been amazing this season. So, yeah, those are the two names that just really stuck out to me who didn't make it.
Yeah, so I don't pretty look at it that way, and I don't know why the fans don't like Vic because San Antonio and Texas, everything's bigger over there. They got lots of people over there. I don't know because but they love Ginobili and they love Tony Parker. So I don't know what the problem is why they didn't vote him in, but because it's on the fans. But I'm pretty sure he's going to get in the game. He should have been a starter, I believe so. And I would have took out KD too. Some people were saying John Morant should have probably made it too. But I don't have a problem with him making in the starting lineup because I'm pretty sure he'll be on the bench. But I'm not surprised by him either because he was on that NY stuff. I mean that YN stuff. So
yeah, y'all nigga shit. Yeah, I mean a player like John Morant's level, I feel like making it. Put it like this: if LeBron was the name of starter and he came off the bench, we wouldn't look at that as the same. We would look at that as like a slight to him. John Morant coming off the bench, I don't look at that as a slight. Like him coming off the bench, not being named the starter, like he gonna make it. That's cool for him.
Yeah. So and Trae Young been balling. I actually thought when they was announcing it, the first player was Kenny Smith when he was announcing the guards. I actually thought it was gonna be Trae Young.
I did too.
He was like, y'all gonna be surprised by this. Y'all gonna be. I'm like, and then
when he said Jalen Brunson, I'm like, how is that a surprise?
Like okay.
Jalen Brunson made it last year. I think Jalen Brunson was a starter last year. How is that a surprise? Like, I understand you a New York homer. I was disappointed, man.
Yeah,
I really thought this is the year Trae should have definitely not just made the All-Star team. He deserved to be a starter.
Yeah, so I thought that's the name he was gonna name. And if I had to take somebody off, I would take Brunson off and put Trae Young because the Cavs are the number 1 team in the East. And he's their best player, and that's how usually the NBA works. So you get a lot of good players in. Cat, I don't have a problem with him being in it. He's been balling. And Jason Tatum, I don't have a problem with that. But it probably could have been some other people, but I can't name them off the top of my head. But
I mean, in terms of starters, yeah. I mean, I think it's only 3-4 players that you can really passionately argue for that should have made it as a starter.
Yeah, so. Well, then I don't have a problem with him, and I was surprised. I want to see if JB's gonna make it from the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? From the A, I want to see if he's gonna make it on the bench.
That'd be crazy, but he should make it though. I mean, the East don't have a lot of talent, so he'll make it. I'll be surprised if Trae don't make it. Before I pass it to UCs, man, I know you haven't kept with the NBA like that much this year, there was a guard that we didn't mention that this was the people that everyone was mad about. I wasn't really mad about it. But what about LaMelo?
They said he had the #1 fan vote or something last week or something like that.
Yeah, the fans make, I think, 50% of the vote, and then coaches and players make the other 25%. Yeah. So he got the most fan votes, but then apparently coaches and players really didn't, I guess, vibe with it. I think he was like 6 and 7 for coaches and players, but he was #1 for the fans.
And I had one more thing to say about it, because you said about Vic. Vic's been on TV. Everybody knows who Vic is now. But like we said a couple of weeks ago, ain't nobody watching this trash basketball. Ain't nobody watching it. You know what I'm saying? They even got the WNBA players playing the whole nother league now, and they getting numbers. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to see these dudes play and missing all these 3-pointers and doing all this stuff. I think they got to do better, but go ahead, C's.
Those ones they say are snubs like LaMelo. That's like one of the big names going around. A lot of people say he should have made it, and then Ja Morant. The thing with Ja Morant is, wasn't he gone half the season anyway? I don't even think he hasn't been playing the whole season. And it's like, comparison to other people, there's a few names that probably should have been ahead of that. But I mean, as far as like the actual lineups, I can't really see too many arguments. It's like, it's not like it's, oh, this is the whole NBA All-Star lineup. Like, we're not seeing every single name. Like, that's the point where I feel like you should be like, hey, these are real snubs. Such and such should have made it. But I mean, I'm not going to sit there and argue. Brunson, we knew he was going to make it. KD, definitely questionable. It's just like, I don't think this was one of his best years. And then just looking at everybody else, it's the typical names you expect to see. I mean, it's literally the starters. It's not the bench. Like, it's literally, we're going to see. Like, Victor, he's coming up. Honestly, come off the bench.
So to y'all, like, being a starter and a bench, like, that's not a difference? Because I feel like in all the other sports, it doesn't matter. But I feel like in the NBA, you being named a starter in the All-Star game compared to you come off the bench, those are too huge. That, like, I feel like that's the only sport where it feel like it matters.
This is a knock.
As long as you make it to me, I feel like you did a good thing. They don't say this 21-time All-Star starter.
I'm not talking about to us. I'm talking about to the players. I feel like it matters to the players.
Some it might.
Like in other sports, I don't think the players really care, but I think the players do care about being like voted.
I don't think it
like it's also the only sport, if you pay attention to ESPN, where they actually would tell you who was the highest vote. They was doing that before they started doing the captains.
But you notice
they would tell you who got the most votes, and players took pride in that. Like LeBron, he takes pride in the fact that he's for the last 10 years. He used, like, when he doesn't get the most votes, I can tell you it's been only like 2 times I remember he didn't get the most votes. That was Steph Curry one year and Giannis one year.
Yeah, so I don't. For them, I can't. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak how they feel. They make it millions of dollars, and if they do feel some type of way, shut up.
They change the format every couple of years anyway. Remember when it was all fan voted? Remember when it was back all fan based, and now it's a combination. So, I mean, the coaches are always going to matter. It's like, is it a popularity contest or is it based on skill? Like, what is it?
It's a mixture of both, man. It's popularity, so, man.
And I don't think it carries. I don't think the All-Star game carries as much weight as it used to. It's literally players. You got players that are just going to ball all year, regardless. They're like, hey, I can make it to the All-Star game, whatever. I'm going to make this bag. I'm going to get my stats. I'm going to make my check. Or, hey, I'm trying to get a fucking playoff run.
Well, before we move on, man, I wanted to make sure I gave his stats correct.
Man, Vic's coming, man.
Vic averages 24.6 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists as a center, along with 4 blocks. Like, when the last time we seen someone basically averaging 25 points and then like 4 blocks? Like, he's clearly probably the best two-way player in the game right now.
He's probably gonna be the 1 or 2 when they announce the next round. Bench play, he's gonna be the 1 or the 2.
Last time I could say 20, 10, and 5, the big ticket.
Yeah. Probably since Shaq and KG, we haven't seen a player from that position dominate both sides, man. So what Vic is doing is phenomenal. If you have not watched him play this year, I've seen him play twice on TV. Please go watch him. You're doing yourself a disservice if you haven't. Someone who's usually a perennial all-star, Jimmy Butler, he's had a lot of issues off the court this season, from him being suspended twice, his name being in trade rumors, him saying how he want to get paid, his love for basketball isn't there. Sees, man, what you think about Jimmy Butler and all these trade rumors and everything that he's got going on?
You are now becoming toxic in your fucking courtroom when you have a general manager like Pat Riley. You're not like he's one of these organizations. He's not going for the bullshit. You literally said you want to get traded. He came out and said we're not fucking trading you. Stop being a fucking diva and handle your business behind the court. You want to get fucking traded? Talk to the organization and get that shit set up. All your fucking dramatic bullshit is not gonna work. Like the Heat organization are not going for that shit, and you're toxic to your fucking teammates. Like you literally have other players saying like, yeah, we love when Jimmy's here, but it's not gonna affect us. We're still gonna play regardless. So it's like your dramatics are not fucking working. This is not the same league where you can do all this drama shit on the news wire and say what you want and you get what you want. If I'm a fucking team manager or owner, I'm not letting you bogart your way anything. Like when I want to fucking trade you, I'm gonna trade you. Ultimately, he's gonna go to another fucking team, and the record's going to show Jimmy Butler, as good as you are a fucking toxic to your fucking court. But
I'm be real, bro. Read the fucking room. Like Jimmy, man, I love Jimmy. Like what he doing in the playoffs is amazing. There's what 30 teams in the NBA. Man, you tried. This was the only team that you can't. Like I feel like if he was on any other team, there's 29 teams he would have got traded by now. Like you said, Pat Riley old school. Like I can see Pat Riley just being old school. And y'all remember when Stephon Marbury and the Knicks didn't get along, and they paid a nigga to come to the games in a suit? Like that shit was so crazy. He was one of the highest paid players, and the Knicks said, "Nah, we want you to still come to the games, and we're gonna pay you just sit on the bench." I can see Pat Riley just saying, "We're not gonna trade you because that's what you want, and we'll finish however we finish this year." Like this is the one team that I feel like the superstars don't have all the power. Any other team, they would have said, "Man, get rid of us. We're trading you or whatever." Like I hate it for Jimmy, man, because I felt like he should have been left the Heat a couple years ago once that team tapped out, because I feel like they've accomplished as much as they can. I feel like Jimmy Butler is a rare situation. He's a Dan Marino type nigga. He's a championship caliber player, but he's never going to be able to play for a championship caliber team because he needs to go to a team that realistically has a chance to win a championship. And I also feel like, and I hate to say this because I don't want to make it seem like it's a knock on Jimmy, because there's only maybe 10 players, maybe 15 players in the history of the league you can say this about. Jimmy is not good enough to be the best player on a championship team and you win it all. But he can get you to the championship as the best player, but I feel like he needs to go somewhere while he still is somewhere in his prime where he's not the best player on the team. Like, and to me, the best situation for him was in Philly. Unfortunately, they didn't want to pay him, but had he stayed with the Sixers, with Embiid, with Ben Simmons, we don't know. They might have had a banner in Philly because that team was really good when he was there, and Embiid has shown us that he can be the best player in the whole league, man. So, Jimmy, man, you got to read the room, bro. You on the one team you can't do this with.
Man, Jimmy Butler, you a hoe. I thought you was going to be the hoe of the week. And what's wrong with these hoes? And what's wrong with you? That you a hoe. You complaining about, I don't have the joy for basketball anymore. Who cares? This when people say shut up and dribble, this is why they say that. Because of you. Like you got all these theatrics come to the press conference with your hair perm, different color braids in your hair. This supposed to be basketball. It ain't football. Like I can understand this was football and you did that kind of stuff because you got a helmet on. But people already know who you is. Why you acting like a hoe? Like, are you coming out of the closet or something? Like, just shut up, play basketball. Yeah, you're in Miami. It's not like you in doggone Sacramento, Milwaukee. Like, you in Miami. And you can't be happy in Miami?
Like, and you got $50 million coming to you.
Exactly. And you can't be happy? You went to the championship twice? Like,
Jimmy Butler is one of the few players that lost in the finals, but just him getting there raised his stock.
yeah, like, just be happy for what you did or lower your price. Because, like I said before, you ain't get paid?
He got paid, man, and I'm gonna tell you who's been getting paid. These NFL head coaches, man. Man, the coaching carousel has been in full effect. There's been a lot of firings. There's been a lot of hirings, man. The two that stuck out to me, shout out to Aaron Glenn. I was happy that we had a black man get a job. Unfortunately, he's with the Jets. And the last time the Jets was successful for coach was with Rex Ryan. I'll say this. Aaron Glenn, he got way better players on that defense in New York than he had in Detroit. Like, it's some talent on that roster in New York. You know, so he's going to make that a top 5 defense because it was already top 10 this year. So that defense is going to be hella good. As always, man, what the fuck you going to do at the quarterback position? Because from my understanding, Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back. Devontae Adams ain't coming back. I don't know if you're drafting high enough to get a guy. And even if you was, the only 2 quarterbacks that are really even possibly franchise quarterbacks is Shador and Cam. And we don't know with them niggas. This quarterback class is way worse than last year's, man. So maybe you get Russell Wilson on the market. Maybe you get Justin Fields. Maybe you get Kirk Cousins. Maybe Kirk just wasn't right for Atlanta. I don't know. But maybe the Vikings don't re-sign Sam Darnold and they decide to go with J.J. McCarthy and you can get Sam Darnold. Maybe he give you the same type of success he did with the Vikings. But Aaron Glenn, just like with Raheem Morris, your number one job is not to make that defense number 1 in the league. Your number 1 job is to identify somebody to throw the ball for you this year. Because you got Garrett Wilson, you got Breece Hall, you got offensive weapons, and you got to fix that offensive line. That offensive line was atrocious this year. Those are your 2 jobs. Get a quarterback, fix the offensive line. And, hey, man, I don't think this nigga going to be good, this next coach, but I'm just happy that he got a job because I've always liked him. Shout out my nigga Pete Carroll, man. Like, Pete Carroll has got to be the luckiest man in the world. You coached at USC, Southern California, you know, had a blast there. Then you went to Seattle, brought your own culture there, won a Super Bowl. Like, he's one of, 3 coaches in the history of coaching that has a Super Bowl and a national championship? Pete Carroll, and now you're going to Vegas. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm probably going to Vegas this year. Pete Carroll seemed like the type of nigga to be playing the slots in Vegas, man. Pete Carroll just seemed like a cool coach. Pete Carroll, just have fun in Vegas because there ain't nothing you can do with that team. That team gonna be what it is. If anything, if you hear this Pete Carroll, just trade Max Crosby to Atlanta so we can get a pass rusher because you in a division with the greatest quarterback of all time, Pat Mahomes, probably the second greatest coach of all time, Andy Reid, Sean Payton and Bo Nix, who just made the playoffs, and Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. Y'all not gonna be good for a decade. So just be happy. Just go to Vegas, get the money, you know, and go play on the. Don't blow it all on the slots, but put a little bit on the slots. Maybe you can win some money back.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, so I guess the theme this year was play decently on a good coaching staff. You'll get a job this year. That was the year that Ben Johnson going to Chicago, one of the youngest coaches. Is he going to be able to turn this team around? I don't know. It's the Bears. Like, they either.
Do you believe in a quarterback?
No.
Okay.
Nah, I don't. I don't believe in the Bears coaching staff, and I don't believe in their organization. Just like the Jets, as good as a defense the Jets have, I don't trust the. One of the biggest problems the Jets always had has been upper management, general manager, leadership.
Yeah, Woody Johnson is the problem.
They're not gonna let the head coach do what he needs to do to develop the team to where I might be wrong though, because they didn't hire Rex again. I'm so fucking glad they didn't hire Rex again, because it would have been that same testament to where, they would have been good enough to probably get in the playoffs, and then when they collapse in 2 years, and they're like, we shouldn't have fucking signed Rex Ryan. We should have rebuilt the fucking team. And also, who was the guy that left Detroit and got signed?
Ben Johnson went to
It was Ben Johnson
Chicago, and Aaron Glenn went to New York.
And
so they lost both of their coordinators. Those are the two hottest names, coordinators out there.
And then we got the guy from the Bucks going.
Dan Campbell, you on the clock, bro.
And then we got Lynn Cohen from the Bucks going to Jaguars. Like,
yeah, anybody even know who the fuck that was? Like, bro, it's so he white, right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, so crazy. Only a cracker can no one know who he is, and out of nowhere become a head coach.
Yeah,
that never happens for niggas.
Yeah, he was on Sean.
Who is this nigga?
He was on Sean McVay's tree. He's from his tree.
Just goes to show you.
But he was the offensive coordinator for the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Did Bauer Leftwich do a better job with the Bucks as their offensive coordinator? And we don't know where he at right now.
But he had Tom Brady and he had Baker Mayfield. So when you
look good,
Baker,
when you look good,
when Baker play good, it's like, oh, it had to be the coach.
I guess so, bro. I guess what Byron Leftwich did with a 40-year-old quarterback means less than what he did with Baker, who was drafted #1 fucking overall.
Hey, Brown, they should got a Super Bowl though.
Shout out Byron Leftwich.
This is what you get. You play on a decent staff, you'll get a good job. That's how you got to do it. So don't go for the head coaching job. Become a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, something. You'll probably have a job in a season or two. You get in the playoffs.
Or take a year off like Pete Carroll did.
And then Pete Carroll, this is gonna be a question. Like, is Pete Carroll? He's literally. I can't say like he's trash or what. He's a great coach. He's won both sets. He did amazing things in Seattle, but it's the Raiders, man. It's the fucking Raiders. It's the fucking Raiders, bro.
Yeah, they're not gonna win, but only thing
they're gonna be fun. They're gonna be fun though. Yeah. Pete Carroll gonna have fun with that team.
Yeah. So Aaron Glenn going to New York Jets, I wouldn't have took that job if I was him, but
hell no.
But he was a former player for them, and he was a playmaker.
That was so cool when I found out that was such a cool story.
He was a player for them, and he was a playmaker. He made plays when he was playing for them. So I'm happy for him because it's only a matter of time, or it's probably a dream for some players to coach that old team.
True.
So I don't have a problem with it, but if I was him, I wouldn't take the job. But you know what I'm saying? He did what he did, what he thought was best for him and his family, and I'm proud of him. He get the head coaching job. His defense sucked.
It was terrible in the playoffs. It was bad most of the season. But hey, man, for as many injuries they had, they was respectable at parts.
Yeah.
Nah, that game against the Vikings. Hey, that game against the Vikings, Sam Darnold. They was lights out.
Yeah, but that's Sam Darnold though.
It was, and before they had the injuries, they was pretty good too.
Yeah, they was. Before they had injuries, they was okay.
Yeah,
but they wasn't. They weren't lights out. They were never.
Now they was not lights out, but that's why him going to the Jets is such a good move for him because there's so much talent on that defense. But you got to fix that offense though, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. So we thought the Lions, who had lost 2 coordinators, was going to be playing this weekend. And we came very close to an all black on black championship weekend. Unfortunately, we got screwed by one cracker. So we got the Ravens. My bad. We got the Chiefs and the Bills playing for the AFC title, and we got the Commanders and the Eagles playing for the NFC title. Man, that Commanders-Eagles game, whoever wins, wins, man. I'm just happy we're going to have another black quarterback, guarantee a spot in the Super Bowl. Man, it's going to be interesting, man, because Jaden Daniels, I remember Rose said before the season started, Jaden Daniels was the truth. And I remember thinking to myself, Jaden Daniels might be better than Caleb. And I just remember in that first mock draft, the very first mock draft, because me and Rose remembers, I was like, man, they got Jaden Daniels falling to 7. Now I'm just sad, man, because I'm looking at, and I like Michael Penix, but I'm looking at like, damn, bro, if we would have had Jaden, bro, we got more talent on the Falcons than what the Commanders got. Shit, man, we probably win the Super Bowl if Jaden played the way he's playing right now. I'm going to go Eagles because they're just a more talented team, and I just feel like there's just this sense of they got to at least get to the Super Bowl to quantify not going for the record for Saquon. In the AFC, man, you got the Chiefs and the Bills. You know, they've met in the playoffs. This will be the third time. The first game was classic. The game last year, I'm not gonna say it was classic. It was a good game. It was a low-scoring game. It was a defensive game. Josh didn't make no mistakes in that game. I feel like, and I'm just going to say this, and Josh, you hear me, I hope you hear this. You would not win this game by playing like you did last year against the Chiefs or playing like you did last week against the Ravens. We're going to need the old Josh Allen. You might have to throw 2 picks this game, but we're going to need 5 touchdown performance Josh Allen. You're going to have to make plays. You're going to have to take chances against this defense, because you're not going to win it by just not turning the ball over. Because one thing the Chiefs have shown, they don't beat themselves. You don't go 15-1. I know they got 2 losses. We're not going to count that last week because they ain't played their starters. But you don't go 15-1 because you just make mistakes. You're going to have to force them to beat you, man. So, hey, Josh, I hope that you don't try to play it safe. I hope you go out there and sling that ball, bro. You might throw a pick or 2, but guess what? That's going to give you the opportunity to win this game. You just not turn the ball over. I promise you, if your stat line has 0 touchdowns passing, like it was last week, y'all not. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout because you're not going to be able to do what you did last week to the Ravens against this Chiefs team. And man, I'm just looking forward to what that nigga Pat going to do. Because Pat just seems like one of them guys. If he needs 10 points to beat you, he's going to get 10. If he needs 20, he's going to get 20. And if for some reason you whisper in his ear and say, we need 50, he's going to say, fuck it, I'm going to pull out my ass and get 50. So Pat just seems like he does whatever it takes for them to win. So, and that's probably going to be the game of the entire playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah, they said that last week about the Ravens and the Bills. Whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl. They'll win the Super Bowl.
It was a great game, too.
It was a good game if you was a Bills fan. But the Ravens had a lot of mistakes in it. But I'm looking forward to the Bills Chiefs game too. I really want to see the Chiefs go back to the Super Bowl, and I also want to see the Eagles go back to the Super Bowl too. But I'm just feeling some type of way right now. I want to see the Washington go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, like, who do you think can beat out of the Philly and Washington? Who got a better chance to beat the Chiefs?
I think the Philly got the best lineup or roster out of all the 4 teams that's left. I think they got the best roster out of all 4 teams. You know what I'm saying? If you go top to bottom.
So you feel more confident in Philly beating the Chiefs than the Commanders?
Yeah, because they got the best roster.
Okay.
But I want to see Dan Quinn go back to the Super Bowl and lose again.
If they face the Chiefs, they probably gonna lose.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. So I want to see the Chiefs and the Commanders in the Super
Bowl. Philly, don't underestimate this fucking team. It's literally you can say, oh, who's better on paper, who has a better record, who has a better team. Look at the rest of the fucking playoff. We see what happened. It's just,
hey, on the record, man. I feel like if I had to choose, I would take Commanders over Philly in terms of who got a better chance to beat the Chiefs. Just because Jaden's just that much of a better quarterback than Jalen. I don't think you can beat the Chiefs with that type of quarterback play that Jalen has played this year.
I'm talking about just the stance of like, hey, like if it's somebody you don't want to underestimate, I feel like this year is the Commanders. Philly is Saquon starting. I've literally been hearing rumors that he might not play this game.
He's starting, bro. I was just on Prize Picks.
So he started.
He got a goblin for a touchdown. Just for you to get a demon, he got to go score 2 touchdowns. So he's playing.
So
the niggas in Vegas have already linked it up. He's playing.
I mean, that's the pivotal thing. Is like, and it's like I say this again. Do not take this game lightly. Any off-field drama, y'all need everybody to fucking play well.
In fact, C's, can you guess what his over and under is for rushing yards in the NFC Championship game? 130.5.
Oh yeah, he started. So I mean, and then it's like this is one of the ones like don't underestimate it. And then like the Chiefs and the Bills, the 2 great saviors of the league, the two blessed hallowed. We have the almighty Patrick Mahomes, and we have the great white hope, the last white hope, Josh Allen.
Well, now it's another white hope out there, man. That nigga Joe Burrow, somehow he got nominated for MVP this year. Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the finalists.
Who made it to the playoffs, though? So
that's my point.
I said like great white hope. Is this going to be the Josh Allen that y'all said should have been MVP? He's got to play like that. Whether he gets 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions, he can do that, but he's got to score fucking 45 points, some crazy shit. And it's like, just going off a record, if you want to say, if you're conspiracy theorists and want to say the shit scripted, you know how the shit go. It's going to be the Chiefs. The play calling, somebody's going to have some shit to say about the play calling. This is how the story goes, but if it's anybody to beat them, ultimately we all agree it's going to be the Eagles, Chiefs. That's going to be if anybody has a better chance. What I like to see, honestly, I think people just like rooting for the underdog, and Jaden Daniels has proven he has the skills. I still hate the Commanders as an organization, Dan Quinn, and all the old school motherfuckers from the Redskins. Still hate you to this day, but I mean, it's the playoffs. Let the story be great, you know?
All right, man. So moving on to TNT, y'all.
Dynamite.
Boom. As Jose said, told y'all earlier, man, like it was snowed the fuck out this week in the CSRA. We could have definitely used a lot of fire to warm some of that, to melt some of that snow away. So tragically, we found out a couple hours with a pod that Atlanta legend DJ Unk passed away. What's y'all thoughts on this, y'all? Tears or no tears?
I'm gonna say tears, man. He was an underground legend. You know, he came up in the right era. His lineage stems from Uncat Records. If you grew up in Georgia or anywhere in the South, you probably heard that name on the underground spiel. So I mean, they had a whole lot good run. You know, not gonna say he's like one of the greatest, but he definitely did his thing in that era. Especially being signed to an underground label like that, it was like they were literally back in the day type when you had promo street teams and people used to go door to door, store to store, like promoting. You see them with the parties, like they literally had 50 people with just rocking t-shirts. You see DJ Unk records and all this other stuff. So I mean, he comes out the era of just, you know, street teams, and I mean, he had health issues. But I don't know specifically what they were, but I mean, like, you know, he's got a legacy. You know, rest in peace.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's one of those founders of that crunk music era, man. Him, Lil Jon, East Side Boys, and the rest of them boys in the 2000s that made crunk music so popular down here in the South. That music that everyone nationally loved to dance to, man. He kind of helped inspire that. Walk It Out to this day, still one of my favorite songs, man. Two Step is a nice little song that you hear that you might dance to. Shout out to MGH. I remember when we was in high school, he used to always love playing that song. Divide that, don't hide that, pussy, divide. Like, you know, he used to love playing that song all the time, man. So, you know, hey, tears, man, rest in peace.
Yeah, I got tears too. And Walk It Out, I think that was one of, people say that was one of Andre 3000's favorite verses or favorite remixes for a song.
That must go sick, man.
Yeah, so for him to have it on his song and that he wasn't even supposed to be on it, and then it's a whole story behind it. But yeah, man, shout out to him and his family. Rest in peace.
So from an Atlanta rap legend to just a rap legend, period. So Lil Wayne announced this week on X and on other platforms that the Carter 6 will be dropping, y'all. C's. What's your thoughts on the Carter 6 as two people that basically listen to most of the Carters from their childhood to adulthood?
I asked the same thing when the whole drama about the Super Bowl was going on. Like, yes, it would have lined up for a story, but when the last time you dropped a record, we haven't heard him on. I personally haven't heard him on any features. Nobody's been talking about it. He's been doing these side quests. Literally, I didn't listen to the Carter 5. I don't even remember there being a buzz around it. It's literally like we're in the era of nobody's waiting for you to drop an album. I think you should have just held it, announced it, and surprised everybody to drop it.
See, you missed out then. The Carter 5 was nice.
I'm not one of those fans. Like, you can no longer ride on your former glory. You got to drop some hot shit. Like, you are falling out of favor. Like, it's literally 10 years or whatever. I don't know how long ago it was, but you're riding on
5 or 6.
You're riding on the coattails of your former glory, and you're a fan. You're like, real fans are the ones that saying, "Oh, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be this." It's like, okay, show us then, because I'm not. I'm literally, as cold as it is outside. That's the same way I'm feeling. It's snowing outside. That's the heat I'm feeling from this announcement.
I mean, the Carter 5 was dope, man. It was good music, man. I mean, the Carter 5 had Mona Lisa on it. It had Dedicate, Uproar, Can't Be Broken, which is a song I love to listen to, and Let It All Work Out. I mean, the Carter 5 was good, man. My favorite Carter is the Carter 3. We was in high school DNCs. It had a Millie. It had Comfortable. It had Phone Home. Mrs. Officer, which was like, to this day, like one of his biggest hits. Let the Beat Build, Pussy Monster, and then, of course, Lollipop. Like, Lil Wayne is at that status of, if he drops, people going to listen to it. Like, I expect the Carter 6 to do numbers. I expect it to be listened to. He's going to have at least 1 or 2 singles that's going to be dope on it, man, because it's Lil Wayne, man. Like, I know that, we talk about the Kendrick shit and all the shit that's been going on the last couple of years with Lil Wayne, but we still got to remember, this is a nigga that's arguably a top 10 greatest rapper of all time. We just saw LL Cool J drop an album. The album did numbers. So you can't tell me if Lil Wayne drops some shit, it's not going to do numbers. Like, it's going to do numbers. It's going to be a solid project, and I'm going to listen to it. As somebody that liked a lot of the Carters. I like from the Carter 1 to the Carter 2. Carter 3 is my favorite. Carter 4 is probably the worst one, but Carter 5 was good. For the most part, he drops good music when he drops his Carters. If anything, he needs to drop like another mixtape, to be honest, because mixtape Lil Wayne is probably the greatest rapper of all time if we just going off his mixtape music.
Yeah, so I ain't got no tears for it. I kind of feel like who cares? You go drop it. Either go on a promo tour and promote it, or just drop it and drop it out the blue. Like, you giving us this snippet. Nobody care about that. Right before the Super Bowl, don't nobody care about none of that. Nigga, drop the album, go on a promo tour, or go do some drugs or something. But you doing everything else. Like, come on, man. Drop the album. Go on a promo tour, drop the album, either one. Just do one of them. And for me, my favorite Carter was Carter 2. That was my favorite Carter album. Carter 5 was fire to me too. Yeah, one of my favorite songs, I think you named it, what his daughter was on it.
Can't Be Broken, or is it Let It All Work Out? Let It All Work Out.
I think that was no, because he had a dude on that one singing. So
okay, so yeah, it's probably Can't Be Broken. Yeah, Can't Be Broken was dope.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but his but it was he had his daughter on it, and so he might have remade it, but his daughter was on it. I think that was fire. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that was one of my favorite songs on it, but the album was fire to me. Yeah, Mona Lisa is definitely one of my favorite ones, and that's my thing about it.
Shout out MGH, man. Is this the shit that you do?
So it's like you put that dude on your ringtone.
Is this the shit that you do?
Because it's like the song was fire, but you mad at Kendrick Lamar that got the like, dog, you let Lil Wayne down, but Kendrick Lamar on that song, like,
he lifted you up.
Yes. It was.
Yeah, Kendrick made that song. Kendrick made that song a top 100 Billboard song.
Yeah, so, like, come on, man. Get that man his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. They say he's going to bring SZA out for the Super Bowl. They on I guess, a world tour or a United States tour right now, so he could bring her. Hopefully he'll bring some other people out, too.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, man, so, a lot of people say Lil Wayne has a lot of different sides, man. Talking about different sides. There was a woman on the podcast, and a dude was talking about, hey, man, tell everyone, that you are hermaphrodite. And she said, yeah, I am. She explained what that is. For those who don't know, it's a person that was born with both genitalia. You know, they got a pussy and a dick. Now, she's a woman, like she's a biological woman, but she does have a penis. And most of the time at birth, there's corrective surgery that's done where the parents will choose basically a gender, you can kind of say, and they'll basically take care of the problem. For her, that was not done. So she still has her dick as well as her pussy. And the dude asked, so when you meet a dude and the dude's interested in you and then he finds out you got a dick and he still decides to follow through, does that make him gay or not? And her response was, well, you got to go by what his initial attraction was. He thought I was a woman, so no.
No, but she is a woman.
Yeah, she is a woman biologically. I don't want people to be confused for this being a transformer.
Technically, but not really.
She doesn't have balls. She just has
a dick.
Really.
A dick. But she made it sense. Go ahead.
So, now for me personally, hey man, I got tears because nigga, you gay. like, hey, bro, I look at this no different because if that dick get hard, you know, and you like to play with the dick, hey, I look at it no different. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Then if your bitch come home and say, I got a strap on and I want you to suck on it, or I want to fuck you with it, nigga, you gay then. You just might not completely know it yet. So if you decide to do anything with that bitch dick, nigga, you gay. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't even want to even fathom, like, how, like, even if you didn't want to do nothing with the dick and you fucking her, the dick is still in the way. Because if you fucking her right and she's enjoying it, the dick going to get hard naturally. So what? You on top? You okay with a dick hitting you in your stomach or hitting you on the side of the leg? You hitting it from the back? You okay trying to maneuver around the dick? Like, nah, man, that's just gay, bro. That's just gay. Let's stop calling this shit what it is. It's just gay. No, she don't have balls. Yes, she's a biological woman. Like, and I'm gonna keep it real. If I met her and we kicked off and we vibe, I ain't gonna lie, there would be a conversation of, well, you gotta choose. Do you want me or do you want the dick? Because if you want me, then you need to go pay to get the dick removed. Because I can't be fucking nobody that got a dick, especially when we showering together, I look down and your shit bigger than mine. Hell no, I can't fuck with that shit. I can't get jiggy with that shit.
Yeah, I got tears because like, but it's a no-go for me. It's a no-go for me. Like, if you like Vertizi said, if you into that, then you gay. But I just got one. If I could ask her one question, it's all I want to know. And it's probably, I already kind of know the answer.
Viewers, she's a bad bitch. Like, she looked very good.
She couldn't get in the beam because she was bald-headed.
Yeah, she got a low haircut, but she looked good, though. I just want all the viewers out there.
But she said that the dick got bigger when she got older or whatever, and it could get hard, but can you come both ways? Obviously not, because you ain't got balls, but
true, baby.
But I don't know. God made you a different way, so can you come both ways? That's the only question I got to ask for you. So if you dick a nigga down, can your pussy start to come? Because I'm
gonna keep it real. You the person that God made OnlyFans for. God created OnlyFans for someone like you, for people that's curious.
I ain't curious to see it,
but they don't really want to see it in person.
I just want to know,
but they want to pay $5.99 to see what's going on.
I just want her to answer the question. I don't want to see it at all. See the scenes.
This is one of those situations where you literally tell somebody up front what you are, what you got going on.
She's a woman.
Everything. No, you're fucking not. No, you're not. You're a fucking human with the extra fucking appendix.
Hey.
No, you're not.
So she has an extra ear. Does that make her not a woman no more?
Yeah, you're a fucking alien now.
Hey, man. When I was in high school, I once had a chick. She had 3 nipples. She had 1 nipple on one titty and 2 nipples on the other. So what did I make her?
Yeah, was she not?
Freak. You're a freak.
Just
Compu Hustle, when that bitch had 3 titties. It's like, yeah, there's probably plenty of niggas that would love 3 titties. It's like, oh, it's a whole extra titty. But no, you have an extra part that makes you different than everybody else. That should be something you put on Front Street when a nigga look at you. Like, all the extra shit. Like, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. We all think you're gay, but hey, it's just like that episode of Atlanta. Hey, it's a spectrum. No, nigga, you're gay.
Yes, man.
But that's not the issue. The issue is, and then all the specifics. This shit get worse as it goes on. It's like, okay, why didn't you pick? Because usually
it wasn't up to her.
Yeah, the mom didn't pick.
Back in the day, when you're growing up, teenager, or you become an adult.
Because maybe she thought it wasn't going to grow no more.
Why
maybe she thought it was going to always stay small and maybe die off.
Assume,
from my understanding, a lot of those surgeries, like even circumcision, for example, when you become an adult, they become more risky and more difficult.
It don't matter. You pick one. But I guess obviously she doesn't have to pick, because there's people out here that like that shit.
Of course, there's niggas out here that's like that R. Kelly and Jay-Z album, The Best of Both Worlds.
So let them enjoy it.
And for those who don't have cameras, as soon as I said that, this nigga Rose's eyes went like, what?
But for people that enjoy it, hey, enjoy it. Obviously, she has no problem pulling men.
Why would she? You see how she look.
Besides that, is for me, that's a hell no from the initial jump. Like, no.
Talking about a hell no. So somebody who not only identifies as a woman, she probably identifies, to be more specific, as a Karen, a white woman. The wrong type of white woman we're into. So this white woman was in her neighborhood, and there was a real estate person, someone who owns real estate, in the neighborhood. And for some reason, she didn't think that they were supposed to be there. They wasn't supposed to live there. There's footage of her basically following them to their house and basically saying, "Are you supposed to be here?" And I think she even called the cops. And then when she got called out on this racist behavior, then got online saying she didn't know the person was black. She just thought it was a shady character who wasn't supposed to be in the area. And on top of that, she tried to cry them crocodile tears. Hey, man, I ain't got no tears for this bitch, bro. Like, man, I hope social media tear her a new one, man, because that's what you white bitches love to do. Y'all love to, do some racist ass shit. Then when you get called to the carpet, you want to cry, you want to play innocent, like you didn't know, and all this other stuff, man. I remember being at AU, quick story time, just real quick. And I just remember, walking to the car. For those who've been to AU, I know C's has, I know Rose has. The parking is so fucked up, especially when I was going back in the day. You got to park off campus sometimes if you don't come sooner early enough. You remember that, C's. So I'm parked off campus, not even a mile, probably like just 50 feet to 100 feet. And I'm walking from the campus to my car. It's like 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a white bitch walk on the sidewalk towards me, because she parked off campus too, but she's walking towards campus. I'm walking to my car. There's 3 white boys on the other sidewalk. This white bitch felt like she was safer walking on the sidewalk with the other 3 white boys. She changed sidewalks, and some think she might know the motherfuckers. She walked past these niggas, don't say nothing, got her head down. And then that's when one of the white boys say, you don't feel no type of way? And I had my headphones in, and one of the white boys said, I walk over to tap me on my shoulder. I'm like, hey, what's up, dog? He was like, yeah, we was asking you a question. What was the question? You don't feel no type of way? Type of way about what? That racist bitch just did that. I was like, man, I don't know that hoe. And I got in my car and drove off. And I stopped at Wendy's or Burger King. I got me some food. But I saw what she did. I just didn't have time. Like, that's how much racism does not affect black people. To the point where we have stuff like that happen so regularly that it's just normal. And that's what's so sad about the situation. That's some normal shit for successful black people. You live in a neighborhood that you're not, quote unquote, supposed to live in, and you get white people that feel like you're not supposed to be there because you're black. That's sad, man. I got tears for that situation, but I don't have no tears for this white bitch. I hope whatever happens to her on social media, she gets all that times 10.
Yeah, I got tears for it because I think we had this conversation before on the pod, and sometimes off the pod, like, it's at a place where you want to be if you're a black person. Me, the answer is no. I don't want to be a place where people think I'm not supposed to be, like, or I'm just gonna move to this side of town just because that's where people that have money like me is supposed to be. I want to be where I want to be, and also where I want to when I'm not gonna get bothered. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to stand out. I just want to stay in my lane and stick in. You know what I'm saying? So people like that, you probably moved to that because he said, yeah, this is one of the safest neighborhoods in Ohio or something. He said, why would you think something like this? And she's like, well, I don't know. But it's people like them that be cooning out, and then all of a sudden, oh, I want to be black today. Oh, she profiled me, so I want to be black today. But before, when you was staying there, you ain't want to, you know what I'm saying? Well, we don't want to get into all that, the politics, all that stuff, but we could, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have an issue with him and his family living where they want to live, but that is something I probably would never do.
If you see me with the keys, I'm walking to my house. You see me pull out a pair of keys. What the fuck does that mean? Obviously, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's a developer in the fucking area, so he obviously lives there or has some business where you pull some fucking keys. This is when, like, mind your fucking business, because now you look stupid. Then have your kid with you and your dumbass husband. I don't even think he cared or he knew what was fucking going on. He obviously was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, Sharon or Karen, whatever? But I mean, then the dude, the black guy, the developer's wife comes out having a whole fucking conversation. Everything's on ring camera. It's like, what happened to America? This is supposed to be the whole I don't see color and racism doesn't exist.
That was until Monday.
I mean, even before then, like microaggressions and all this other bullshit, like it's still there. Like what the like, mind your fucking business. Like if it actually legitimately, if you see some, you know your own fucking neighborhood. You know when some legitimate shit's going down, and you're supposed to keep an eye out or whatever. But sometimes you gotta stay in your lane, mind your fucking business. And now you look stupid and then trying to apologize. If the shit wasn't on camera, bitch, you wouldn't be apologizing. So I mean, it's just an error. Like it's the same shit we keep talking about. Like mind your fucking business.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, a situation that got on social media that became people's business, but probably should have been a private situation. A father was caught on camera having a conversation with her daughter, basically saying she was going to kick her out because she was being too promiscuous. From the context of the conversation on camera, she had already been kicked out of her mother's house because he insinuated, well, you need to just go a little bit with your mother because you're doing too much here. You keep bringing boys in the house when I'm not home. You're not going to school. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And she basically said, you already know I've been over there and she doesn't want me over there. Tears, because parenting is just, man, it's there's no book on the shit, man. You know, yeah, I hear stories about parents do things this way, parents do things that way. When you're a man, you want to raise your kids to have morals, especially if you have a daughter. You know, Chris Rock got his bit in his stand-up where he said, man, your number one job as a father is to keep your daughter off the pole. And I want to extend that to keep off the streets too in terms of selling pussy. Because, you know, they don't grade fathers, but if you raise a stripper, you fucked up. Yeah, man, I don't know if there's a father that is okay with their daughter being a hoe. So for her to be that young and just already bringing a whole bunch of boys in the house, you expect it to an extent because, you know, they're teenagers or whatever, but you try to set these boundaries. You got to, at some point in time, you got to put your foot down. There has to be consequences for people's actions. You know, I can't say the father's right. I can't say he's wrong because I don't know what I would necessarily do in that situation because I don't have kids. You know, I always do joke with MGH. I feel like for niggas who's in the street just really doing the most, yeah, man, your karma would be having a daughter. So, I mean, hey, I don't know what this nigga did in the past life. Maybe that's his karma is you was a hoe nigga, so now I'm going to give you a daughter that's a hoe so you can understand everything you've been doing. So, no tears, man. Hopefully they figure that shit out, though.
Yeah, I don't have any tears either, but hey, you should have been a better father from the get-go, then maybe it wouldn't have been this way.
I have no tears. I mean, if somebody says these are the fucking rules of the house, it's you're a child. You are not an adult. If you're an adult, you want to be an adult, go be emancipated. Go pay your own fucking bills. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If I ask you to do a simple thing is fucking go to school, make good grades, he literally said, I buy you whatever you want. So a parent is supposed to reward bad behavior. People will literally tell you, oh, you're supposed to provide for your kids. Providing is basic fucking needs, not extra paying for a cell phone. A cell phone is not a fucking essential thing. PS3, sneakers, and all this other shit, fancy sneakers and the latest Jordans is not a fucking essential item. I could go get some shit at Payless, and it's like, if I ask you to do simple things, you don't follow my fucking rules, of course I'm gonna be mad. And it's like, hey, go back to your mama's house. Obviously he's tried. This is probably not the first time he's had a conversation. He's like, on his last straw, like, yo, fuck it. You don't want to follow my rules. I'm not putting you out on the street. You're going back to your fucking mama's house so she can deal with your ass. I'm not dealing with you anymore. And sometimes when it gets to that point where a child is so stubborn that they're not following the fucking rules of the house, like, what are you going to do? Put her on punishment and start taking shit away? I mean, she's probably going to do the same thing anyway. So it gets to a certain extent. It's like, when you're done, you're fucking done. And I'm not gonna sit there and tell anybody how to fucking raise their kids, but I'm not gonna knock him for feeling the way he fucking feels.
Hey man, there's many ways to raise your kids, man, but there's also many ways to shoot your shot at these hoes. So this one woman basically got online and she said, here's the top 3 ways to shoot your shot. The first way, just walk it down. For those who don't understand, man, that's just you walking up to the bitch, asking for her number, getting straight to the point, and just spitting game. The second way, you out in public, you just buy her a drink. You go to the bartender and you say, hey, go give her this drink or whatever, and let's just extend that to maybe you get her some food. Maybe you're at a place where they don't sell drinks, but hey, you say, hey, man, go and give her some fries or some shit like that. So basically just give her some shit. And then the last way, which is probably she even said, surefire way, DM her and say, what's that cash app? Yo, I got tears of laughter, man, because she ain't lying. Like, if you a nigga that got full confidence, you walking up to a bitch and just asking her what's up, hey man, that never goes out of style, man. You know, if you've ever been with me, hey man, I ain't afraid to just ask a bitch what's up, man. Season see it, Rosetta seen it, man. Hey, I'm gonna say what's up. She either gonna say no or she gonna say yeah. She either gonna be ready to go or not. I don't care. But that last one, I cannot tell you how many times where if you just offer to give a bitch $10 on Cash App, these hoes is broke. These hoes is beggars. They be begging. If you tell a hoe like, yeah, I'll shoot you like $10 on Cash App, and you tell her this Monday, and you tell her I get paid Friday. Bruh, Friday at 8 in the morning, bitch will be texting your phone saying, you got that $10 from me? Bitch, what? You ain't even let a nigga get the crust out his eyes yet, man. So I got tears of laughter because, hey, for you niggas who don't have game, man, she put in your own game, man. Send a DM, ask what that Cash App is, ask what that Apple Pay is, ask what that Zelle is, ask what that PayPal is, and, you know, you might be able to get a shot at that pussy, man.
Yeah, man, I got tears. This is trigonometry 101. You know what I'm saying? If you teaching you how to be a trick, hey, what's that Cash App, ho? Hey, I'm gonna let this money flow. And yeah, do I have to see you? No. She thought she was teaching niggas how to do something, but nah, she's an undercover agent.
She's a double agent.
This whole work for the FBI. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yep, she worked for the FBI. She's like, yeah, hey girl, I'm gonna get you some money like that. Now all of a sudden, everybody that watched her video, they be like, oh yeah, what's your Cash App? And the hoes is loving it. Like, yes, I don't never have to see the dude, but yeah, here go my Cash App. Send me $15, send me $10, send me $20. And they be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see you today. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. But I need $20 some gas money. I need this and this. But once you got a Cash App, you already done sent them one time, then you lost in the sauce. Now, it's okay if you really trying to get out of her, like, oh yeah, I really want to see this. But what you got to do is you don't send 10, 5, or 10. You send $1.
Facts.
You send $1. That'll get some bird feed. It'll be like, well, if you need something else, you got to see me.
So basically, what hoes say nowadays, lead with money. So from the initial rip, whether you gotta walk up to them like, hey, go get, don't send the shit over. Go to the bar and send the shit over. Hey, go send that drink over there. No, because people gonna think you put something in it. You can't. I don't even think you can walk up with the drink and be like, oh, here's. Don't do none of that shit.
They're gremlins now. They're gremlins. That wasn't a real perk, but they still ate it. That wasn't no real drink, but she still drank it.
Oh, that's that shit where they pass out and they wake back up.
That wasn't no real lemon drop, but she still drank it.
Yep.
So I mean, it's basically with money. I guess what she was saying was, what's the cash out? How much? What's the fee for the action? That's it. It's dumbass advice. Don't listen to these bitches, because it's basically all you want is money. Fuck it.
Hey man, so I don't know what's wrong with these hoes. I don't know what's wrong with these niggas scared to talk to these hoes. I don't know what's wrong with y'all president, nigga. So, what's wrong with these hoes, y'all? So, speaking of that, Trump had his inauguration this past Monday on Martin Luther King Day. Now, there was a lot of things that happened. You know, he had rappers from Nelly to Snoop Dogg perform. They talked about how 3 of the richest people in America would sit in front row for the inauguration. Elon Musk was there. He gave a speech. He did what appeared to be a Nazi salute at the end of his speech. Apparently, Trump signed, I want to say, 40, 50 executive orders that same day, his first day in office, you know, and throughout the week, he's been signing executive orders throughout the whole week, including one repealing the Civil Rights Discrimination Act, you know, and the very first executive order he signed was basically there's only 2 genders in America. It's been a lot of stuff going on this week. Most of this, 95% of this shit took place on his inauguration. C's, man, you and me have talked about politics over the years so much. We've had heated debates about politics, man. What's wrong with these hoes? What's wrong with this president?
Follow politics. If you're just now waking up to shit, you've been asleep for a long fucking time. Just remember, executive orders are not laws. They are simply executive orders. They have executive powers, but it's more of a policy put in places like, saying, hey, we're going to do this, or this is my policy towards that. Congress can still shoot it down. Supreme Court can still rule it illegal. I hate the whole tropes of DEI, didn't earn it. That's a catchphrase, didn't earn it. It's a lot of shit going on with this all these executive orders. Doge is not a legit thing yet. It's a whole lot of shit going on. The migrant crisis to they're talking about the Mexican cartels being declared a terrorist organization and the military being involved down there, special forces, all this other shit. Vivek got his sand nigga wake up call. He's not even involved in that shit anymore. The Prince of Saudi Arabia now says King Abdul, I forgot his name, but he now he's investing $600 billion or a couple $1 billion. SoftBank, there's the whole AI initial shit. Elon Musk is getting pissed off, realizing exactly what people said wasn't going to happen with him not being able to run shit like he thought he was. Basically, people kissing ass towards the guy that's in power now. Regime change. So, I mean, it's a lot of shit going on where it's literally like people are kissing the ring, bending over, taking it, doing this. You're just going to see a whole lot of shit people don't like. A lot of budget cuts, education, EPA, veterans benefits, literally the federal hiring freeze all the federal workers who want to work from home, they're now calling you back to the office. You're going to see jobs getting rescinded, hiring freezes, all this sort of shit. It's a lot of shit going on. How they always say, it's going to get worse before it gets better. There might be some things that work out better, but I mean, it's all a bunch of fucking fluff and bullshit. People are lining their pockets up. You know, it's like these next 4 years. I mean, continue to live your life. You know, do what you got to do. If you really feel strong about something, call your congressman, call your congresswoman, you know, city council, get involved in it, do your research, figure it out. But it's nothing new. This is every 4 years for the last couple 100 years. So, I mean, shit's going to continue to be what it is. And then, like, simply say, like, that wasn't a Nazi salute. That was a fucking Nazi salute. It's a lot of optics. Like, people don't care anymore. They're just doing whatever they want to do. It's all propaganda on both sides, whether it's another nation or ours. It's all read between the lines. There's a lot of shit going on in the world now. Yeah, be smart. Do your own research.
Yeah, man. Man, it's just crazy, man. It's just a lot of stuff going on this week with his inauguration, from what happened, everything that happened Monday. First things first, it's just crazy. All the people who tried their best to explain that what Elon Musk did wasn't a Nazi salute, but instead was like a Roman salute, which when you do the research behind it, that shit don't even freaking exist. Like, a Roman salute is some shit that was just made up in the movies. There is no real Roman salute. But
We live in Rome?
nah, we live in USA, nigga.
Oh, my bad.
America every day.
Is he from Rome?
Nope, he's from South Africa, man.
Oh,
The land of the apartheid, man. I can let C's get into that another whole episode.
Okay.
Man, so it's just crazy. That's crazy. The fact that it was on MLK Day, and like Rose said last week, it's not the first inauguration that was on MLK Day. But, you know, sometimes semantics matter, optics matter. The fact that, you know, we know the racial rhetoric epithets that's been with this, you know, president, the fact that they even felt comfortable, you know, doing it on that day, that kind of does give you worry a little bit. I just really want to talk about Snoop and Nelly. Nelly went on Willie D podcast. Shout out to Willie D. That's one of the real niggas in the rap game, man. And basically tried to talk around why he thought it was okay to do it. He said the politics part is over, man. It's cool to do this. Nah, man, fuck that. Because we've seen teams from the Warriors. We've seen teams from LeBron and the Cavs. We've seen these NBA teams say, I'm not going to go shake the president's hand because I know the racial epithet that's been going on. Like, we've never, like, if you was to go in sports, we've never seen so many teams win a championship and not go to the White House other than Trump's first 4 years. Like, most of the time, even during the Bush administration, people were still going to the White House. Even during the Obama administration, people were still going to the White House. When Trump became president, there was a lot of NFL, NBA teams, college football teams, college basketball teams saying, and WNBA teams, we're not going to the fucking White House because of what this presidency means. Not the president, what his candidacy with him being president means. So that's just sad that you had people like Nelly thought it was cool. And then you had someone like Snoop. Man, as much as we love Snoop, like, Snoop is just showing how he's chasing the bag. Because just a couple years ago, you was calling niggas coons for going to perform for Trump.
Yes, sir, master.
Now, because he pardoned one of your homeboys, you think it's okay to go perform for this nigga? And it's crazy. And this was so crazy to me. I just want to know, is Nelly and Snoop going to get the same backlash that Kanye West got when he first supported Trump?
No.
Like, when he was walking around with the MAGA hat, talking about this MAGA hat giving me superpowers.
Got one for you, Chrisette Michelle. Y'all drug the fuck out of her.
Exactly. Like, there was black people that supported Trump the first time that got dragged. And it's like, you gonna drag these motherfuckers the same way? Now, as far as executive orders, it's like C said. And I don't want to bore people with the politics. I'm gonna let Rose go and he gonna give his spin on it. But for those who kind of understand politics to an extent, executive orders, they don't really hold much weight as when Congress and the Senate pass laws, because, you know, a president can come in and make an executive order, or they can appeal an executive order, basically. Versus when a law gets passed through the Senate and Congress, the next president can't just come in and just say, oh, I just want to appeal this shit or whatever. No, you actually have to put that back through Congress. And it's a reason why you don't see too many presidents who, like, when they get in office, say, I want to change all of this and just make 100 executive orders. Like in Trump's first term, it was the most executive orders we've ever had with a sitting president. And the reason why is, for those who actually have been politicians for a long time, you can make 100 executive orders in one day. But when you're 4 years in, the next president can easily overturn those. Versus when Congress and the Senate come together and put laws in place, the next president can't just say, I want an executive order to make that law meaningless. No, you can make a suggestion, but then it has to get passed through Congress and the Senate. Just real quick for those who understand. So, like, some of these executive orders this nigga make, I mean, it's gonna be tough for these first 4 years, but who gives a fuck, bro? The next president will come in and probably say, fuck what that nigga did, because that's what Biden did his first year in office. He overturned some of the executive orders that Trump had the first turnaround, man. So,
Trump.
Huh?
It was Trump first before Obama.
What'd you say?
Trump was before Obama?
No,
that was Bush.
I said Biden, right?
No, you said Trump.
he said it right.
Yeah, I said Biden overturned some of the executive orders that Trump had put.
No, you said Obama did.
My bad. Yeah, I meant to say Biden. Biden, when his first year in office, go look at it. He overturned some of the executive orders that Trump had the first 4 years, man. So these executive orders don't, for those who actually understand politics, they don't mean shit. That's what C's was saying at the beginning of this topic about how it's really more just suggestions. It's not a law.
But it's funny to me because he'll make an executive order on the toilet. Yeah, I was on the toilet this morning and I wrote an executive order. Look at this. Look at this.
Somebody was in his ear while he was on the toilet talking about,
That should be funny as hell, man.
hey, we gonna have a new toilet paper, must be from America. American made toilet paper.
I was eating dinner and playing video games and I wrote this new executive order. Isn't it great? Like, Trump's hilarious, bro. I be like, this like, he's a comedian to me, bro. That nigga too funny.
The only thing I had an issue with was when he did the executive order and I guess gave clements or pardons to all the Proud Boys.
January 6th. That was one of the big ones, yeah.
So
y'all saw what the police shield did though today.
I know they locked up one of the guys for gun possession or something like that. I don't know what else
they revoked their support of Trump, their public support of Trump.
It's too late now.
Election over.
It's too late now.
And hasn't Trump said for months, so his first day in office, he was going to do what?
Man, I remember. I wasn't watching Trump, so if he said that, he probably did. But
he's been saying that for months. That
I was hoping that he wasn't.
He was going to do that.
So that's the thing about it, like all those people that they got hurt in that situation, and that
all those people that say Blue Lives Matter.
Man, that's the only thing I got to say about that. Man, Snoop trying to get it bad. Nelly told you Donald Trump, let me in. He said that 20 years ago.
He's trying to get a bag too.
And Rick Ross, he's always trying to make money.
Well, Rick Ross on it too?
Yeah, he was there too. He always trying to get money. So with Ross, the only person that hurt me was Snoop.
Yeah, when Snoop was for people.
When Snoop did it, I was like, oh, okay.
Because Snoop, like when people don't understand, Snoop represents a culture.
By the end of this year, his wife's gonna be dead.
Oh my God!
We gotta hear on No More Black Tears podcast first. I think he sacrificed her.
You know what I said about it is I'm not surprised by any of these fellas because what they do when they come to where they perform at the country club. If you ever been in the country club, it's an all white cowboy club where they got money because they white.
I mean, we know about to it. We know about Snoop with Martha Stewart shit. So I mean, who's surprised really?
Yeah, my last thoughts, man, is fuck around and find out, man. For everyone that voted for Trump, I keep hearing all these stories of, oh man, I lost this job, we lost these benefits, this happened. Hey man, I'm just excited to fall back these last 4 years. And for those who voted Trump, because no one in this table voted for Trump, I just want to see how it affects everyone's lives negatively, because this is what y'all voted for. So I don't want y'all go on social media and complain. This is what y'all voted for. Talking about voting, we each, for the last topic of the night, We're going to give you our top 5 hood movies. And as usual, there'll probably be an honorable mention thrown in there. And for some of y'all, you know, at the table, if you into TV shows, I know C's and Rose watch TV shows more than me. If you want to throw in a TV show, hey, be more than proud. Now, for those listening, me and C's kind of talked about it earlier. I sent a message to the group chat. What we're going to do for hood movies, we're not necessarily going to just do black movies. It's going to be more so a movie that actually takes place in the hood. So that doesn't mean it just has to be gangbangers or people selling drugs. But we do understand that in the hood, or a movie that's like in an impoverished environment, if you want to make it simple. C's, what's your list looking like?
Classic, the Friday series. I mean, it's the literally kicked off a whole generation. Just we literally go. I remember going to a party about 3-4 years ago. It's literally everybody sitting. We line for line, bar for bar, just recite the damn movie. So I mean, it's a classic. I've seen. If you ever seen the memes or the videos where they're showing Friday in Spanish, so I mean, it's a classic series. I'm gonna actually go left. I just love the message of the movie. A lot of people say it might not have the best script, but this movie, like for Director X back in the day when he was Little X, but Director X, one of the greatest hip hop music video directors of all time. Two guys that weren't really actors, but you know they acted in this Belly. Just the very first Belly movie, the message was there was a lot of deep messages in that throughout the movie. And
I'm not even surprised by that one. That's one of your favorite movies, man.
Yeah. Then another one, Boys in the Hood. It's the classic. When I say I don't love the movie, it made my list, but I don't love the movie as much as a lot of people do. But it's more so the message with justification of the movie. It's just like that scene in Snowfall at the end of Snowfall. Not trying to spoil it, but literally. The director, you see the mainstream of the shit. Like, you see how Boys in the Hood literally became a commercialization of the whole hood story. So, I mean, that's one of them. If you just like classic blaxploitation or just black film and a lot of black characters, OGs, man. It's a lot of characters in there. From Braxton to everybody. It's probably to his own detriment because you've literally seen him get typecasted, but Braxton was in that movie. Jim Kelly was in that. Not Jim Kelly. I'm tripping. Jim Brown was in that movie. Pam Grier, OGs was a classic. And then my last one, man, Shot Us. It's literally like it was between this and another one, a couple ones, but Shot Us like one of them like barbershop movies. You're like, what the fuck did you just give me? And you go and watch that shit. And it has one of my favorite crash out characters of all time, Mad Max. And you know, it's got one Marley's son is the one from Miami, Kamani Marley from Miami, who actually grew up in the States. Real Miami, Florida boy. But I mean, it was a lot of classic characters from these other good movies, but I mean, that's one of those street movies like DVD Shot It, man.
Yeah, man. So first movie for me, probably number one, New Jack City. Man, that movie just so fly to me, man. I love that movie. Wesley Snipes was one of my favorite actors of the 90s. Yeah, I mean, it just talks about the introduction of crack into the inner cities, how it affected the black community, how it got a lot of us strung out. It talked about how it was a bigger systemic issue than just the drug dealers themselves. I always remember that scene in court when he was basically like, hey, it's bigger than Nino Brown, it's bigger than me. You got Akbar at the bank. Like, people don't understand. Like, when you can't, Malcolm X said this, me and, you know, Rose are big Malcolm X fans. We talk about Malcolm X privately. Malcolm X said this way back in the day. You can't get drugs in the community without the white man. So that movie, to me, just identifies what that issue is, and it just shows how it affects our community in so many different ways. It gave you a classic character by Chris Rock called Pookie. You know, like, people who don't even know the movie, they know the name Pookie, man. So New Jack City. Another movie, Above the Rim. Man, Tupac, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Tupac, if you would have gave me, if somebody was to sit at this table and give 5 Tupac Hood movies, I wouldn't even be mad because Tupac was such a great actor before he passed away, man. His role in this movie was good. I can't think of the main character's name, man, but he's very good in a lot of black movies, man. It's just a story basically of a young, and then you got Bill Bellamy, and it's just a story of a black man who had a chance to go pro. He fucked it up because of a situation that happened in his environment. And for those who watch sports and watch documentaries, a lot of people would tell you, man, this person could have been great if not for this situation. And that's what happened in the movie. He could have probably been the next big thing, but his homeboy died because of him early in the movie, and it fucked him so bad that he's a janitor at he's a security officer at a high school now, and he ends up coaching Bill Bellamy. But then at the end of the movie, you see Bellamy play for Georgetown, which, for those who understand the 80s and 90s, if you wanted to be black, Georgetown was the school to go to. So I even like that little nod in the movie, man. And then Snoop Dogg was basically the little brother of the dude, and he basically was just a straight gangster. He like, hey, man, I ain't your little brother no more. I'm the man in these streets now, nigga. And they playing a basketball game on the blacktop, which is just like some shit that you see in the hood all the time, man.
Yeah, shout out to them, yeah, man. Because if nobody saw it, a Butter Rim 2, never mind, take it back. Go ahead. I'm thinking about White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, yeah.
I did that last time, too.
Now, you good. Another movie that I'll go with, Never Die Alone. You gave us Belly, which is one DMX movie. Man, Never Die Alone, man. Him and I can't think of his name right now, but he's a white dude. He played in a whole bunch of movies from Ready to Rumble and some other stuff. David Arquette, that's his name. That movie was good, man. You got DMX from, him getting head to his little side bitch, to the side bitch, to his main bitch calling the side bitch. And the side bitch like, yeah, man, we ain't fucked yet, but I sucked this dick.
That was Belly.
Oh, my bad. I'm confusing it. Nah, man. But yeah, Never Die Alone for me, because you had David Arquette. He was the writer trying to tell the nigga story. DMX was a dope man, and one of my favorite lines that I always say to MGH is, "If it was good then, it's good now." That was when the little bitch he was fucking with was saying, "Man, you small time, 100K ain't that much," and he ended up putting, is it heroin? I think he ended up putting heroin in her coke to get her addicted or whatever, and it just shows that's how he killed the original bitch. Paid in Full, man. I feel like, man, for that to be based off a true story, and for that to be a movie that got Cameron in it, and that movie it gives you the explanation of why some people call Cam Killer Cam. Like Cameron he's a beast in the movie. I can't think of the main character name, but he played in a lot of classics. I can't think of it.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Okay, he played in a lot of, like, in terms of just, let's give a moment to honor a black man that has played in a lot of black movies. Yo, from Remember the Titans to he was LeBron James' coach in the little movie or whatever. He's played in a lot of stuff for the culture. That movie's so dope. It kind of shows you ain't got to be loud to move, because his character took over the drug game, but he was kind of quiet with it. He was kind of chill. And it just also shows you, man, your friends may not be your friends, dog. Because the fact that Killer Cam killed Mekhi Phifer, which Mekhi Phifer is one of my favorite actors, man, because he got some movies out there too, y'all. And the fact that he killed that nigga just to get a bag, bro, it's crazy, man.
You got it on you right now?
Huh?
You got it on you right now?
Yeah, man. Nah, yeah. That shit's that's what happened though. So that shit happens, man. So that movie's a dope ass movie, man. And lastly, I had to get one comedy in it. You took the Friday series, man, so I went with this movie instead. But you could have went either way. Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice in South Central, which is just a combination of a lot of movies I talked about, as well as some movies I did not hit on. First of all, the Wayans, they go. That's royalty. They funny as hell. I remember seeing this movie as a kid, laughing my ass off. And the true testament to a comedy is can you laugh at it years later? As an adult, I watch the movie, I still fucking laugh, man. From the fact that you got this Dr. Umar Johnson brother who literally fucks with white bitches. Then you got this nigga named Crazy Legs who's in a fucking wheelchair. Then you got Marlon Wayne's character, and he's older than his actual dad. And early in the movie, he says, well, if I'm gonna be doing all this shit, what you gonna be doing? I ain't gotta do a goddamn thing. Cause my mom take care of me. Nigga, what? Then the fact of in the movie, he's talking about, man, we in a dangerous species. Cause we black men? Nah, man, cause we actors. Nigga, what? You got Bernie Mac in the fucking movie. Man, I hate black people. I hate black pepper. I hate black gums. I hate Wesley Snipes' black neck. Most of all, I hate Whoopi Goldberg black ass. Like, nigga, what? Like, just the whole movie. And one of my favorite lines is, that's Shiki. What you say, kids, when you see a good black man? Are you my daddy? Like, I can quote that movie on and on. That movie's a classic. The Wayans gave us gold when gave us that movie, man. So, yeah, shout out, man. That's how I'm around my top 5 album.
Yeah, so from me, first one I'm gonna go with right now. I'm gonna say Menace to Society.
Classic, man.
Menace to Society. That was, I can watch that movie today. I watched it 10 years ago. It was scarier 10 years ago because like, dog, that could have been me maybe. But now watching it like, dog, gone. Yeah, that was a real one. That's how people really was back in the 90s. Like people really was doing that stuff. Second one I'm going with is Juice. Juice. You know what I'm saying? I got to go with Juice. He said, you's a crazy mother sucker. Yeah, I might be. And another one, third on my list, I'm going with New Jack City. Yeah, that was one of the ones like okay, yeah, like can't go wrong with that one, man. And New Jack City, Wesley Snipes, you know what I'm saying? Buddy from Poetic Justice, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that was in that movie, Chris Rock, you know what I'm saying?
Alan Payne.
Ice-T, you know what I'm saying? Ice-T was my favorite character in that movie, and he was the cop. It's crazy. So,
what he doing now?
Yeah,
playing the cop.
SVU.
Shout out, get that money, Ice-T.
Yeah, so fourth movie on the list. I had to replace this one with one, but for my honorable mention because I was like, I got to put this one on because this movie made a whole series, but the series wasn't even about the movie, but everybody thought it was. Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow. 3 6 Mafia won a great Oscar off of it. That out of hood movies and classics, like I think that did more for black people than any other movie did. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even lie to you, man. Like that's such a great choice, Rose. And for the viewers listening, I'm gonna tell you why that's such a great choice. One, that made Terrence Howard just a secondary actor to it showed he could be the main character in the movie. Because if you track his career from the Best Man series to other stuff, that was the first time he was the main person in the movie. And after that, he never really went back to being a background actor. It took 3 6 Mafia to this like legendary status because it was the first time a rap song had won an Oscar. You know, it was definitely a rap song by black people. You know, so that was amazing. And then that movie also, why it's so legendary, that took Taj B. Henson to where she was at to a whole nother fucking level when now she's a leading woman in Hollywood. Yeah, so in terms of what it did for black people, you might mean other aspects, but what it did just for those 3 groups of people I just named.
That's what I'm talking about. Black people, and other black people. You know what I'm saying? Just black people, because it was just black people just got their recognition for like, and it was like they got recognition for that movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Just
for sure, that's a great choice, Rose. I'm so glad you said that. I didn't even think about that movie, but that movie was amazing.
Yeah, and my last one before I do my honorable mention is Set It Off.
To the bind, Nate.
To this day, I'm in the bind, Nate. If you say at the end,
when I'm gonna get my check
when I'm finished.
Man, Nate, I can never hate you, Nate.
To
These
this
hoes
day.
might want to hate you, but you was a real nigga, Nate. You stood on business.
That was one of the movies like doggone when Queen Latifah died, Chloe when she died, like that was the first time when somebody when they say they staying on business. I'm staying on business.
But when she lit that cigarette and got out of that car,
hey, I ain't going out like this.
and the fact that the only bitch that lived was the bitch that was selling pussy. Like, bruh, a lot of you hoes probably like, that's my role model.
Hoes are never cold.
That's it.
And they gave you some good dick too, because that nigga was on top of you in that scene, and you just heard him grunting. That bed was rocking, and you just laying there crying.
Hoes are never cold.
Tuition ain't cheap either.
What you thought this was?
Yeah, hey ho, you gonna have to suck some dick. You gonna have to get some pussy up for some college tuition in the 90s.
Hey, and my honorable mission was Belly. You know, so I put Belly on my list, but then I said, oh no, I got to put Hustle and Flow on there. So somebody got to go. You know, say you replace somebody got to go. So Belly went, and I thought it was cool. I actually thought we should have more movies the same. I thought about Don't Be a Menace to Society. I thought about that one too. That's one of my favorite ones too, but it couldn't make the top of my list. But me and you had one in common, and me, you see, we had one in common, half of one in common because I put it on my mission Belly. And me and Vertizi had New Jack City.
Yeah, I thought we had more in common. If I had to give one movie for an honorable mention, it would be Do the Right Thing, a Spike Lee joint. Okay. I remember seeing that movie as a kid. And
is that really a...
Hell yeah, it's a hood movie, bro.
Yeah.
It takes place in the hood. You got a scene where one of your favorite actors get mad because his Jordans get stepped on. Mm-hmm. The cops kill a nigga. And that's why I feel like that movie was my honorable mention. Because even in 2025, we still are facing some of the racial tensions from that movie. But as far as TV shows, I know both of y'all watched Snowfall. I never watched it. Man, but man, if I had to pick a TV show, man, I don't know. Can you get better than The Wire? I don't know. Can you get better than that, man? That movie's in B more. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. They selling drugs. It's showing how police go undercover. And The Wire to this day is a classic.
Yeah, if I had to pick one TV show, it'll probably be Godfather or Harlem. That's what I'm
going to go with. Like, because everybody says the movies I would name, so I'm gonna name because I got some old head. So, Colors would be one.
Okay, I ain't heard that one in a minute.
I watched the movie the other day.
Kings of New York, that'd be another one.
Was that the one with Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one, Goodfellas.
That ain't really a hood.
It's a hood movie.
We talked about that the other day. Like that was more of a gangster movie. But go ahead and finish your list. Go ahead and finish your list.
What's another one? Old school. I'm thinking. South Central.
Yeah, we talked about that one last week.
Yeah, we talked about that one
too. OG Bobby Johnson.
I actually watched that movie last week, and it sucked too.
Ray got so.
I didn't say these movies are good or bad. I'm just saying hood movies.
Yeah, but this is your top five.
This nigga was in love with my whole that was selling pussy.
See, this is what you got to realize. Like, I just got back from church, and y'all should be proud that the pastor listens to our segments.
Shout out to pastor.
So shout out to pastor. Shout out to church. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we probably raised.
I'm not trying to. You know what I'm saying? Hey. But I'm gonna keep going.
All right. Make your last one quick because we got to get the final thoughts.
All right. Last one quick. Hood movie. In the hood. Fuck it. The cartoon PJs. Put it out there, man. I'm just putting some shit out there. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. PJs was a good show, man. And it had black characters whose lips and noses were proportionate to niggas.
Goddamn.
C's, man, what's your final thoughts tonight?
Vertiz, what's your final thoughts?
Hey, man, we talked about hood classics. Man, let's just, keep in mind, man, one man does not dictate how you should feel for your fellow man. So even though Trump is president, you can still love your fellow man, bro. You can still love one another, man. for all the people that understands we got a long 4 years ahead of us. Hey, I know we talked late last year about the elections, but if you haven't listened to me and Rose, one thing we preach, man, don't just vote in one election. We got governor elections coming up in Georgia. We got senator elections coming up in Georgia. We got Congress elections coming up in Georgia. We got representative elections coming up. We got even local elections, for just the CSRA, AUG coming up these next 4 years. These elections have even more impact than the presidential election we just had, man. So please get out and vote, man. Vote in all these elections coming up, man, because this could be the difference. We talk about executive orders. This could be the difference between a law getting passed that could affect you, your family, your kids, your neighbors and stuff like that. This could be the difference between a budget being risen for your job and your job getting extra money allocated versus to your job having to lay people off, man. So please get out here and vote in all these other elections. Don't just be depressed because we got a president that you might not want to support. We got other elections coming up. So please get out and vote.
Yeah, so my final thoughts is like we talked about what's the right way to shoot your shot. And Charlie said how to shoot your shot. I just got one thing. You're going to miss 100 shots you will never take. Verteezy.
And it wasn't Airbnb Rakim. Peace.
Yeah, man. Y'all can catch us at the next light, man. We in traffic. And I'm back quiet.
Mr. DJ Rose, Verteezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.